Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today I will be discussing the ending of What If Season 3 and how I believe Marvel should deal with any future seasons of What If. Now I know what you're going to say. What if Season 3 is the final season? There won't be any more after this. Even Brad Winderbaum confirmed it. Very true. It is very true. And it is probably the last. But as we can all agree, this is not a good idea. So firstly, let's talk about Season 3 of What If. I thought the season was great. I did admit there was a bit of a slow start, but the story ended very well to me. I was expecting the season to end with a huge connection or setup for the events of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, but for some reason Marvel decided to make the stories end as its own enclosed story. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but many fans have been concerned with the interconnectivity of the multiverse saga, and the finale of What If could have really helped that. Me personally, doing the pictures for Doomsday and Secret Wars, please check them out. I did work hard on them, so I do appreciate if you would check them out, my pictures of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. But yeah, when I was crafting the story, it was really difficult to try and place everything together to make everything make sense. There are so many loose ends, and I think What If could have helped with the multiverse section of that. Now, the story also felt very short. Okay, and I believe there was only 8 episodes in this season as opposed to the 9 episodes of previous seasons. And to be really rough with Marvel, 2 of those were part of the big finale. So realistically, we got 6 episodes and 2 finale episodes. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love What If, and when it first released, I can imagine the huge potential of the season. I remember crafting so many versions of What If and how many stories they could do. But honestly, I don't think this series really did fit the bill for me. Now, I'm always trying to be positive when it comes to films and stuff. I always try and be critical in the right way. And this is where I'm sort of coming in here. I do think that the final season should have had the same amount of episodes as previous seasons. Firstly, I understand that they have their own rules and their own limitations, but that's what I would do. I would have the same amount of episodes. And not only that, but the final episodes, the very final episode, I would have completely removed. I would have ended the season on the penultimate episode, so basically the second to last episode, and then moved the finale episode to become a Watcher special presentation. So a special presentation about the Watcher. This way, the special presentation doesn't need to feel rushed, and Marvel could have the opportunity to truly enhance the story and push it and make the finale more than it was, and then, use it to set up Doomsday and Secret Wars. And bonus, we get a special presentation again. Besides the issues with the What If series, though, there is clearly a point for Marvel when they made this series. It was clearly made for Marvel to introduce aspects of the multiverse and introduce many new worlds and characters, which they'll be able to pull from a later date, and try and expand that Marvel cinematic multiverse. For example, Captain Carter, being a big favourite among fans, was pulled into live action for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And even we're getting rumours at the moment for Haley Atwell returning in Avengers Doomsday. We may actually see Captain Carter in live action again. Marvel also wanted to establish their animation sort of studio, which has then obviously become Marvel Animation. And they've gone on to create the incredible X-Men 97. And Marvel Zombies, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and Eyes of Wakanda, I believe, are coming out this year. Being 2025. So yeah, I mean, we got good out of it. What If was definitely for a purpose, and it definitely served that purpose. Now, although the story of What If Season 3 didn't really set anything up for the future of the multiverse saga, it also kind of did. I believe Marvel will utilize these characters and stories within the What If anthology, and bring them into the story of Doomsday and Secret Wars or any other multiverse projects on the way. It is possible that during Doomsday we could see the Watcher, Birdie, Kahori, Storm join the Avengers in their fight against Doom. I said before that Haley Atwell may join the fight as well. While not obviously the original What If version, we could see an alternate version of Captain Carter join the fight. One that shares her strengths and values, and that's what I think What If will do for the future. In the giant sandbox of the Marvel multiverse, I think that this is all the show will be for in the future, just a pile of stories and characters to pick from when closing the multiverse saga. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. The series should be on its own. It should be a standalone thing. And that is what it has become. And I've enjoyed the stories that it's told. But now I'm going to be a little cruel and try and step in here. The story of What If was great and allowed us to see many cool stories branching from the main MCU, and the story it told was really cool and it had a lovely ending. But no, Marvel, there is no chance you are listening to this, but in my personal opinion, leave the story of What If here. That's fine. But I want something new after Secret Wars. So, after Secret Wars, if Marvel gave me the rights and gave me the opportunity to fix this, after Secret Wars, I think that the multiverse storyline should end, as we all agree, and that we are now going to get projects solely set in the new rebooted MCU, bar a few other projects which are Elseworld stories, granted. Okay, and check on my Secret Wars pitch about the new rebooted MCU and the theories behind it. And I'm going to be a bit of a hypocrite when I say that I want Marvel to revive the What If show as a brand new show. So yes, end most of the multiversal storylines and end all that rubbish. Keep the Elseworld stories. Yes, you can do that, but make a brand new show for What If. So we've had What If seasons 1 to 3 in the multiverse saga, and now afterwards, I would like a What If, let's call it What If the Watchers Chronicles. Similar to What If, yet different. Kind of how what Born Again is doing for the MCU. So this new series will have 8 to 10 episodes each and will feature a unique story in each episode. However, it will build to nothing. No huge arc that relies on moving pieces or character arcs like in the original What If. Instead, I want it to be a true anthology told by the Watcher with no limitations. I get that What If had to end. We've seen the Watcher's story and some characters throughout the multiverse. If Marvel tried to continue the story, it would drag. Solution? Just end it and start again with a brand new type of What If season. Make the episodes a little longer to include a good story and then finish each season with a longer, bigger episode rather than an overarching finale. Not only that, but I want the season to not be so restricted. Not only having branches of the MCU, but other timelines and stories as well. So here's my little pitch for season 1 of the new What If after the multiverse saga has concluded. These episodes have been picked from my subscribers, and whilst I couldn't get everyone's ideas in, you will be all mentioned regardless and credited in the description. So, episode 1, What If Gore completed his vow? This was suggested by Blacksmith Studios. Apologies if I pronounced these wrong, by the way. This would be set in a world where Gore made his way to eternity and wished for all gods to die. We could explore a brand new MCU where these almighty gods have been killed, and throughout the universe, many people are suffering because of this. I can imagine a great story where certain characters from around the universe try and fill the roles of their gods. Episode 2, What If Iron Man fought the real Mandarin? This could be a story where we see the events of Iron Man 3, but instead it is Wenwu who is working with AIM to have Tony Stark killed and build an army of extremist soldiers. This was suggested by Deadpool MCU 2024, and honestly, having Iron Man fight the Mandarin was something many fans wanted, and I think this storyline would really work. Episode 3, What If Kang Escaped? This was suggested by Goggles36195. Thank God these names are not offensive. This could show what if Kang did in fact escape during the events of Quantumania and killed Ant-Man as well. To the extent of which this story could go is obviously unclear at this moment in time, but I'm sure after Secret Wars, this could be a really interesting story and would kind of make sense. Episode 4, What If White Vision went to Wakanda? This was suggested by CMZF947. This would show White Vision wandering around the earth and finding his way to Wakanda shortly after T'Challa's death. Shuri could bring him in, amazed at how he could have been revived after being destroyed, and they could work together. The threat of Namor could then appear, forcing Shuri to rely on getting Vision back to his old self rather than trying to recreate the heart-shaped herb. And I think that would be a really interesting storyline as well. Obviously, Ironheart wouldn't really play much of a role, maybe. I don't know. Episode 5, What If Shang-Chi took the heart-shaped herb? Now, this was suggested by G. Chamberlain 71. Or 71. This was a really interesting concept to me. I could really see this being Shang-Chi getting involved with a plot by his father to maybe attack Wakanda and take their resources. So Shang-Chi heads to Wakanda to, obviously after T'Challa's death, or maybe even before, and use knowledge of Ta Lo and the Ten Rings. They could create like a brand new herb. And and give it to Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi could be this brand new hero, like an original hero, kind of like White Wolf, but it wouldn't be White Wolf, maybe Red Dragon or something like that. I don't know. Episode 6, What If the Avengers Reassembled? This was suggested by 928 Studios Inc. 06. This explores a world where Tony Stark swallowed his ego and called Captain America back and reassembled the Avengers. We could see a villain take advantage of this, or we could have the threat of Thanos come in again. But now that all the Avengers are banded together, Thanos doesn't stand a chance. Episode 7, What If Deadpool Killed the Fox Universe? This was suggested by Goggles36195 again. Granted, this could also be like a big finale one, but as stated before, the new What If series that I'm talking about would not just be MCU based, but we could see far more. We could explore other universes like the Fox X-Men universe or the X-Men 97 universe. In this one, we could see Deadpool being found by Paradox, but instead of the Time Ripper being used to destroy the universe, Paradox could offer Deadpool to join the Sacred Timeline with his friends and family, but only if he kills every hero of his world. And we could have the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Blade, Elektra, and other heroes fight Deadpool in this show. Episode 8, What If Ultron Worked? This was suggested by Wolverine Logan, Best What I Can Do. This would follow if Tony Stark succeeded in creating Ultron and he didn't turn against him. We could see the Avengers disband and Ultron becomes the main heroic force on Earth. But Tony's obsession with protecting Earth could go off the rails, and that could be down a storyline of him becoming Superior Iron Man. Episode 9, What If Captain America Joined Hydra? This was suggested by Optimal Ollie. We could see Captain America thrown off that train that Bucky did, and see him get captured by Hydra, and we can follow Captain America being brainwashed and controlled by Hydra and sent back into the war, where we see the events play out pretty much the same way until Captain America and the Winter Soldier, where Cap gets activated and betrays S.H.I.E.L.D. and reveals himself as a Hydra agent. And finally, the big grand episode 10, What If the Other Half Was Snapped? This is my own idea. Of course, this is a popular idea going around anyway, but it's the Avengers of Avengers Endgame in a scenario when the other heroes were snapped instead. I think this would be a really, really interesting storyline, and many people have asked for since the beginning of What If. So yeah, this is just an example of where What If can go in the future. I just think that Marvel are missing an opportunity here, and having What If revived in a different format after Secret Wars would be really good to see. Marvel wouldn't have had to make these long story arcs, and this way they can focus on the individual stories and making them really cool and make it feel similar to how the first season of What If felt. Marvel have had so many choices. I mean, they can even just pull from the comics if they run out of ideas. The multiverse is infinite, so let's show that rather than ending it after 3 seasons. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening to me ramble on and on and on. I would like to thank all of those who suggested episodes for What If. There were way too many to add, but I would also like to thank, obviously I've thanked a few, but I would also like to thank Donna Mark 1234, Kale Who 2555, and Emmett Hilden Brand. I'm sorry I couldn't use your episode ideas, but they were fantastic, and I'm really sorry I wasn't able to add them in, but honestly, my point is proven by this, though. Marvel need to lean into the infinite. You know, they could literally create an entire episode just as a World War Hulk story. It doesn't even need to be part of the MCU in a branch. It could just be an epic story set in an alternate universe. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have your own What If ideas, any ideas on how Marvel should go ahead with the What If series in future, or if you just want to share your own opinions on the What If show so far, then please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.